Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another upgrades video. In today's upgrades video, we are once again taking a look at the Springfield Armory 1911 A1 loaded. And before we get this video started, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Gators Eyewear. I am an affiliate with Gators. They do not pay me for this ad space or anything like that. I really love these glasses. I wear them all the time at the range. In this video, I was wearing the Starks with the red polarizing, which just looks so freaking cool. They are awesome. If you want to support the channel and also pick up some awesome sunglasses or ballistic glasses, you can click the link in the description or in the comment section. There's also a discount code down there that gets you guys like 30 or 40 bucks off of your sunglasses. And Father's Day is coming up. It's a solid gift. You can't go wrong. I am a hypocrite, my friends. You have seen the thumbnail, and it is not a lie. It is not clickbait. It is the current reality. So let me let me just state my case here a little bit, okay? So the irony is hilarious. I made a video a while ago. It was when my back was seriously not in good shape. And I made a video about how I would never carry a 1911 and the reasons why I would never carry a 1911 and why I couldn't recommend carrying a 1911. And most of those reasons are still completely valid for me in my case scenario. About 2 weeks ago, my back was not feeling too great. Nothing serious, just a twinge here or there. And it was one of those things where I was really trying to recoup it. And I usually carry my VP9 Tactical in a QVO Wingman holster. And I'm carrying appendix, so what starts to happen if this is the front of my body and this is the back, I start to kind of hinge forward a little bit throughout the day. We're talking after, 8, 9, 10 hours of wearing that rig. If you're already having back problems, it's not the best. So I found myself carrying my VP9 in my backpack, and I'm like, all right, well, at this point, I got nothing on my person. It's all the way in my backpack. Gun, I want to choose something a little bit more comfortable, maybe something that I can carry throughout my day-to-day. So I dug out my good old Galco leather strong side rig, and I brought out one of my favorite kind of die-hard 1911s, which is my Springfield 1911 A1 loaded, and I freaking carried this thing for about a week and a half daily, and the main reason why I carried it was the comfort. And because I started carrying the 1911 A1 loaded here a little bit more frequently, I decided to make some nice upgrades that I kind of wanted to see in a carry 1911. The 1911 A1 loaded is not a specific model that Springfield makes anymore. They used to make this gun, and now they make another variation of the loaded, but it's just different. The serrations are a little bit different. You have usually different sights up here, and it's not necessarily bad compared to this one, but I do think that this one is a superior version of the A1 loaded from Springfield. Of course, Springfield Armory is generally not looked at too well in today's market, understandably for a lot of different reasons. I am generally not a fan at all of Springfield Armory's polymer frame guns. I never really have been, but I will say for 1911s and the price point, they make a phenomenal 1911, and this A1 loaded has absolutely been that for the entirety that I've had it. I actually had the very first malfunction with this gun in the range day that you guys are going to be seeing in this B-roll, and it was just your typical stovepipe there, and it was also the first time I was running this Metgar magazine. Now, normally Metgar mags are awesome, so I don't necessarily know if maybe this gun just doesn't like this magazine, or maybe it was the gun, maybe it was the ammo, who knows. But I did have that one issue, did not experience that any other time, and we're a little bit above 1,500 rounds now on this gun, a lot of that not being cleaned, and that's the first malfunction I've ever had. So I'm not really picking at the gun too much for that. There's a lot of other variables that it could have been. How I have been carrying this gun when I did carry it there for a little stretch was not with these 10 rounders. I was primarily using those for range mags, but I did have have some Wilson Combat 8-round mags that fit perfectly with the first upgrade that I did, which was this flared magwell. This is a Wilson Combat magwell, and I think on a 1911, it is very, very nice to have that flared magwell to just kind of guide that mag into place, and it really does speed up reloads pretty good. Now, this is the magwell that's like 35-ish bucks, and in order to put it on the gun, you actually have to just kind of bevel out the grips a little bit. It's got two little prongs that go underneath the bottom of the grip screws there, and on these VZ grips that I have, the G10 grips, they are not cut to accept that. I got the FF Pocket Gunsmith once again to help me out in this project, and he just dremeled away the bottom of the grips, and they fit perfectly. Speaking of the grips, I actually ended up taking the VZ grips that were on my Para-Ordnance Black Ops and moved them over to this. I wanted some better grips, those factory loaded grips from Springfield. One, I just don't really like the look of the Springfield grips. They have their massive emblem on here, which just, I hate whenever that's going on, so that kind of sucks. And then also the grips were really not aggressive at all. They were kind of slippery. Having these VZ grips is just phenomenal, and I think the contrast to the black G10 on a stainless 1911 just looks excellent. So of course those are a great upgrade, and I also think that with the flared magwell, that thing is just starting to look pretty freaking nice. I have went with the tried and true method of front strap checkering here, and the cheap way, which is to grab some aggressive grip tape from Talon Grips or whatever, cut a sliver out, and then slap it on your front strap there, and it works out pretty freaking good. Carrying it all day long, shooting it at the range, hot range days, hands sweating, it doesn't matter. This stuff stays in place, and it's such an affordable, quick upgrade that's also not permanent to the gun. And although Wilson Combat does make that kind of like wraparound foil checkering, I actually think this would be a better option for most people. So for me, this is working great, and I see absolutely no need to change it out. The gun is perfectly aggressive, it stays in the hand well, and controls recoil really, really well with that front strap piece there. I did not necessarily make a huge upgrade to the sights, but I did black out the rear sight here, and that's just my preference. As a defensive gun, I really prefer a blacked out rear sight with a white front sight or another form of high visibility front sight. It's just way easier for me to pick it up, and also to pick it up with speed. Drawing from the strong side, as I did a few times in this video, takes a little bit. I was also working with a little bit of a handicap on my trigger finger. I had a rather interesting bite that was self-inflicted from my newly purchased Civivi Tamashi fixed blade. And yeah, sometimes, you know, blades are always live and never unloaded. And I was messing around with it, talking with my hands, and right in the trigger finger a few days before the range. So that was a little bit interesting to draw from and shoot with that hand, but it ended up working fine. But if you're wondering why my hand placement might be a little strange sometimes, that would be why. Drawing from the strong side, of course, is nowhere near as smooth or fast most of the time, especially in more of an old school holster like this, compared to Appendix, but it's really not bad. And I would say that for the most part, unless you're sitting down in a vehicle, strong side is really not the end of the world. And of course, for comfort, it's definitely going to be a little bit comfortable, especially with that leather rig. That is going to wrap up this upgrades video for the Springfield 1911 A1 Loaded. If you can ever find this gun, I'd strongly recommend to pick it up. It's a great 1911, especially for the price point. If you guys have any other questions about this 1911 or anything else on the channel, please throw them down below in the comment section, and I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.